Being impulsive means is that you don't really think about the future. You don't think about what's going to happen tomorrow or the day after or next week or next year or 10 years from now. You're not thinking about that. All you can think about is what you want right now. That's all you can think about. And if you want it, that is the most important thing to you in the world. Nothing else matters. So if someone tries to give you advice and tells you think about your future, what you're doing is wrong. This is not good for you. It's going to hurt you in the long run. You don't want to hear it. So for instance, just to give you some worldly examples before we turn to Allah's book, you can have young people back in, before all these restrictions came on to smoking, right? When we're not in this country, smoking is not advertised the way it used to be in the 80s and the 70s and things like that. They are now advertising restrictions because of the health impact and all of that, right? But before then, smoking was very successfully advertised as the ultimate sign of being cool. It was somebody smoking is somebody mature, somebody cool, somebody beyond their age. So if you're young and your beard hair hasn't come in yet, and you don't really look like a man yet, but when you want to act like a man, what should you do? Just buy a pack of cigarettes or get it from somewhere and start smoking, and you're 13, but you look like you're 18, right? So you just look cooler, right? But if you tell these young men or even girls, what you're doing is no good for you. It's hurting you. It's hurting your body. It's taking away from your life. It's going to hurt you in every physical way. It's going to take away from your physical ability too. It's not just we're talking about the akhirah or spirituality. We're saying even in your 20s and 30s, you're going to pay the price for this. You're going to feel like you're 40 when you're 25. Don't do this. The young person cannot think beyond the fact that for the next 2 minutes, if a girl walks by, she's going to think I'm cool. That's all he can think about is the next 2 minutes. You give him an argument about how this is going to affect his life in 10 years, or 20 years, or even next year, none of that matters. None of that makes a difference right now. This mentality of being impulsive even affects some of you younger people in your studies. Your mother tells you do your homework, whatever. I'll do it in the morning. I'll do it later in the day. I'll do it at night. I'll get up early and do it in the morning. You still don't do it. You get to class, like, I'll get there early and do it. I'll do it in the car. I didn't do it. Oh well. You keep putting things off. Because you want gratification right now. You want to enjoy right now, and homework's getting in your way. How many of the young people sitting in the audience, and I'm highlighting young people because it's spring break and I know you're here, study an hour before the test? Study 2 hours before the test? Why? Because if you study before then, you don't see any immediate need. At that time, it's time to enjoy, time to have fun, time to play the game some more. Get to the next checkpoint, right? Play online a little bit longer. Watch a movie, whatever. Exam is 3 days from now. Exam is 2 days from now. Exam is 5 hours from now. I still got 2 more hours of chilling, then I'll get to studying. You keep putting it off. Anything that has to do with work, you keep putting it off. And this is the essence of impulsive behavior. And it's a very powerful temptation that young people have inside of them. It's real. People wouldn't be making billions of dollars off of this if it wasn't real. It's there. All human beings have it. And as you get older, you get more and more control over your impulses. So as you get older, before you buy something, you think about how much is in the bank. Is this really a good idea? Is there another store that has a better price on the same shirt? Maybe I shouldn't buy it here. Right? A teenager is not going to think like that. He's going to walk into the mall, he sees a shirt he likes, he doesn't see that it's made in China, or probably Walmart has the same shirt for half the price or whatever. It doesn't care. He's just going to buy it right there. Right? To him, maybe even the bag of the brand he's holding means like he's worth more because he's holding a brand name bag. This is impulsive behavior. Now, how does Allah Azza wa Jal talk about maturity? And this is one of the things that keeps young people from being mature. Right? The early adults from being mature. One thing I'll start this khutbah with, that I've said many times before, is that in our religion, the moment you hit puberty, in Islam, the moment you hit puberty, you're considered an adult by the Sharia. There is no juvenile court and adult court. You know how in the modern Western court system, there are youth that if they do a crime, they're tried as juveniles, or they're tried as youth, and they have juvenile, prison facilities and things like that, and they have different judges and different case, different law, and then people over 25 or whatever else, different states have different laws, they're tried as adults for the same crime. In Islam, the moment you hit puberty, you are considered an adult. There is no difference between you and someone who's 65. Between you and someone who's 45. There's no difference. Legally speaking, there's no difference between you. And this is something that's very important for us to understand, not just for Sharia reasons, but for guidance. What Allah expects from you, young man, what Allah expects from you, even if you're in high school, what He expects from you is no different from what He expects from your father. There's no difference. You're not going to be in less trouble because you're 17. You're not going to be in less trouble because you're 18. It's not going to happen. Before Allah, you will be tried as an adult. You will be tried as an adult for your actions. So how is it the case that young people, which psychology says are impulsive, they can't control themselves? Some thought comes in their head and they do it. They get angry, they say all kinds of filthy things. An older person gets angry, they stop themselves. Younger person gets angry, they can't hold their mouth. They just explode. They say whatever comes in there. So how is Allah trying both of them in the same way?